Good morning, and what a literally freezing cold morning it is. -4 when I set off, and I came down to the pond here thinking, man, it's going to be frozen. But I guess it's still early days of the season, so the water is kind of misting. It must be warmer than the air temperature, which gives me a little bit of hope that it might catch today. If I'd come here and had been a lid on, I would have had to have gone to one of my river spots. But in these conditions, I wouldn't have fancied driving down to them, because most of my areas I like to fish on rivers are down a horrible farm track or something, you know, which I probably would have made it down, but it's never fun. So I've come here because in these man, Baltic conditions, it's colder than a nun's thighs. I can be comfortable here. I'm not on an exposed river bank. There's no muddy banks that I can fall down. In fact, you might be able to see, we've been doing loads of work here. Locals who know this pond will know that this was a big area of collapsed bank for, well, years now. And it's been all sorted out, tracks clear, fantastic. So, welcome to the channel. If you've seen this place before, you'll know I caught 2 small pike, and I'm giving it a kind of mini campaign this winter. Just fish it 3 or 4 times and see what's in, because I really want to expand my network of pike spots. This is something I've been talking about all winter. And if I can put this down on that list, that'd be great. Right, let's get a couple of rods out and talk a little bit more about what we're doing later. The water is actually freezing on my line. That's incredible. Anyway, I'd set my float up, had a little cast around under these trees. You might have seen it on the time lapse, but I hit into someone else's line out here where I wanted to be, and I was pulling on it, and I could feel that it's attached to a snag, and loads of bubbles came up out there. So I'm sure some branches or whatever fallen off this tree and gone in. So I'm just going to tuck it under the right there, just under the tree. I mean, that tree is full of tackle. More tackle up that tree than angling direct. It's amazing. Right, let's hope I don't add to it. Second rod is going to go down the left side of the swim there, and although I'm doing it from a different angle, it's actually going to be pretty much on the spot I caught my last fish from here. That's both the rods out. So quickly to recap, I've got float fished bluey, well, half a bluey, on the right hand side there under the tree. And then I've got alleged pollen over to the left there. And I chose this swim because last time I was here, I caught a fish fishing just around the corner there. And I did kind of notice there was a lot of small fish being struck at in this corner here, but I couldn't fish it because of this collapsed bank and everything. But now it's been repaired, I can get in here. So I'm gonna give it a go. That rod is effectively fishing the same water, just from a different angle, and I didn't get anything further away, so I'm happy that I'm covering new ground. And yeah, lots of deep marginal cover. Think it could work. We caught a couple of jacks last time. Wouldn't mind that today, but I'm desperate to see what's in here that's big. Right, we're all set up. Let's tidy everything away, and yeah, hopefully not get too cold. Just gonna have a recast here, but I'm already getting itchy feet. I'm seeing fish showing out in the middle, but over close to the far side there. So if I moved around to swim around there, I'd be able to get on them, I think. However, I'll give it another sort of 3/4 an hour to an hour here, because I did catch fish here before and I've seen one roach kind of top in front of me. So I'm pretty sure if there aren't pike here, I should be able to get on something over there. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the move, giving it a good couple hours here. So we'll try over that far side where I've been seeing a few more fish show. In the new swim, and I think it's gonna be ledger bait out a bit further, kind of where I'm seeing those fish in a general area, and then my float fish bait is going to go in by these trees. Past 1 o'clock now. I've just had my lunch and quite a lot has happened since I last spoke to you, other than catching a fish. So there's been quite a lot of pike shows out here, as in, you know, silverfish busting. And every time I've covered them with a bait, because last time I was here, my second fish I caught was when there was a big bust up of roach, put my dead bait over it, and sort of 10-15 minutes later I got a run. But that just doesn't seem to be happening this time. The good news is, I'm pretty sure I'm in the right area. Those fish are showing, plus there's still little roach and that hitting the surface. What I'm going to do is wind in, put a fresh bait on each rig. I'm going to reposition my float back down the edge. Out there in open water, it's done nothing, and I can cover that with my ledger rod. What I'll do is those baits that I bring in, I'll chop them up, chuck them kind of around the edge. I'm really confident fishing a small dead bait over a few chunks. Yeah, let's hope that works. We've got possibly another half an hour of fishable light, but I don't think I'm going to bother. As you can tell by my outfit, it's absolutely freezing. It's probably -2 or 3, something like that. My feet are actually freezing to the boards as I walk. I can see ice forming in the margins. So yeah, I'm going to knock it on the head, and we'll just have to pick this one up another day. Oh. It's about a week later and I'm back. Really want to give it another go. I was so gutted that last time I was here, during that afternoon and evening, there was probably 6 big pike strikes out there, you know, silverfish crashing away. And I was annoyed with myself I didn't bring anything with me to kind of drift a dead bait. But I've got some little roach and that with me this time, so I'll show you that in a moment. Looks good for it. Annoyingly, when I got here just then, about 2 dozen gooseanders took off, so you don't know what they've been doing, probably smashing the silverfish. Hopefully that's not put the fish off. It's raining, so I'm going to get my brolly up, put a static rod out, and then show you the little drifting rig I'm going to put together. There we are, got my static ledger rod set up. Going to try a headless herring first, just down by these dead trees here. It's where I was fishing and baiting last week, so you could argue it's had almost like a little bit of pre-baiting, and it just looks good for a fish. That looks like such pike habitat. For my drifting rig, just doing something that looks identical to the size of fish I saw fleeing. I've got about a dozen of these tiny little roach, rudd, whatever they are. It's just under a generic coarse fish pack, size 4 in its back, long wire trace, and then a bit of a smaller float. I normally go for like a 15 or a 20 gram. This is 12 grams balanced with a 12 gram weight, because if a pike hits a tiny bait like that, I don't want it to then have to drag under a 20 gram float. It's just going to feel completely unnatural. You know, like, why does a 1.5 ounce rudd suddenly weigh 20 grams? Like, it just makes no sense. So yeah, this is what I'm going to go with. It'll be very subtle. I've got it set about, well, I thought it was about 8-9 foot out there last time, so I got it about 5 foot to begin with, so just under half depth. But we can go deeper or shallower with a bit of luck. And ducks are giving it the big one. With a bit of luck, we'll see a pike strike and we'll be able to get this on top of it. I had that roach drifting around out there for a good couple of hours, different depths, casting it at different ranges as well. Nothing's happened, I've just lost it. I've got my jigging rod with me, so I'm going to give that a couple of casts, just see if there's some life out there. I've had one bang on the margin rod and that's it. The jigging and the drifting didn't do anything. I've had a bit of a walk around as well, haven't seen any fish, or, well, I saw one dead one, but that's about it. So we're going to go back to a bait on the bottom, got a smelt here. We'll try that out in the centre there, and of course we've got that rod down the edge. it's coming up on 2:30 now, which at this time of year means there's only really a couple hours of good fishing time left. I'm a bit gutted really, nothing's happened. I saw so many fish scattering last time I was here, and I'm now prepared for that, but it's just not going on. I don't actually think I've seen a single fish top or anything. So what I'm going to do is just try fresh bait. This blue, I'm going to cut it in half, put one half on the float, the other half down the edge, chop up that herring, scatter it around the edge rod, and just hope that works. I'm really really want this lake to be good for me, but I don't know, maybe there's not as many pike in here as I thought. Annoyingly, that looks like another blank. That's 2 in a row now. I'm gutted because I caught 2 fish the first time I pike fished here, and I haven't come close since. In the last hour I have seen a couple of small fish top, and it has been in front of this swim, so I'm happy I've been in the right spot all day. But I don't know, it's gone freezing. It's December now, you know, I've got my Christmas hat on. Even went to the panto yesterday. Oh yes, I did. And yeah, I can only think that combined with the fact that looking around, it seems like there's about maybe 6 inches of extra water in. So that must be really cold. I don't know, I'm making up excuses. I'll probably give it another try, but I'm going to pack away for today. Well, good morning. A little bit different today, as I'm trying to do this winter. I'm on a pond, but it's kind of like an overflow from a marina. And it's a bit weird down here. It's a little bit, I don't know, you got a lot of eyes on you. It's the kind of place where you're kind of fishing away, and all of a sudden, Nigel and Irene come round with a little terrier and give you a gob full of rubbish about how you can't fish there. It's happened to me a few times, but I know I can fish here. It's just, I think people are quite protective about this little pond with all basically their homes are over there in the marina. But yeah, I'm keeping a bit of a low profile. Got the dog walkers coming around all the time, so I've already put my stuff down in the swim, bit of a tight swim, got it all set up already, so I'm just going to get down there, get my rods out and stay out of the way. Yeah, a bit of a weird one how I've ended up here, because I was going to fish that pond that I've been trying a few times this winter. But when I got there, there were a few cars in the car park already, which is quite rare in winter. But yeah, I figured 3 or 4 anglers on there, and that place is basically full. So was going to try the river. It's a little bit high and nasty for my sensitive pike fishing needs. So I'm on this pond, and you know, there are rumoured to be big fish in here, which is kind of what I'm after this winter. So I'll get down there, get some rods out, and give it a go. First rod going in on the wacky float rig, single treble, is a headless herring. I'm purposely using quite soft, smelly baits because I've no doubt the pike are going to be in that marina. When I look over it, I can see that they've got the chimneys going. It's going to be warmer, the bait fish are going to be in there, but you can't fish in it. So I'm going to put the entrance to the marina in about 8 foot of water. This, yeah, hopefully very stinky bait. Just need to whip it round these trees. Alarm on quiet. Karen will send Jim round with the garden strimmer or something. On my more static ledger rod, I've got a headless pollen cut just behind the gill, so I've not broken that cavity there where hopefully the swim bladder is blown. and this bait will pop up a little bit. Yeah, I picked this because when I looked in my bags, the bag of pollens was really bloody, and that's what I need to pull these fish out of the marina. So that's going to fish on the static ledger rod, just a little bit kind of out here. I don't want it too far out because I think the fish are going to be coming in and out of that marina if anything. Bit close in, but we'll try it. I've given it about an hour with just my dead baits out, seeing if there's any kind of resident fish here that I can sneak a quick bite out of. It's not really happened. Working in my favour is the fact that it's quite a mild day, so hopefully that pull a few fish out of there. And I've seen a kingfisher and a few seagulls working a pond, so there must be some bait fish. But to try and speed things up a bit, get the fish moving, I'm going to throw some little chunks of fish out there around the entrance, and yeah, hope that that brings more fish out of there, because I'm convinced they are in that marina. I've just had my lunch, and as always, these short winter days kind of slipping away from me a bit. I've maybe got another 2.5, 3 hours of proper fishing time. Still nothing's happened, so I'm going to try and change a dead bait on this. I did have it over by the snags on the far bank there. I must say it's feeling better for a fish though now. It's darkened off a little bit. There was someone blowing leaves on the far bank there for ages, like a good 2 hours. That can't help things. So perhaps as we move into the evening, might get a little bit better. Just want a bite, just want one fish. So the bait I changed over to was half a bluey, which is a bit of an old reliable bait for me. And the pollen I've just hacked up, and that's going to go all around the area again. Probably down to the last half hour now, and I just can't believe staring down the barrel of 3 blanks. And you wouldn't have thought it was possible to put a herring at the entrance to a marina and have nothing happen to it for, well, about 7 hours now. Like, how can that be? There must be fish around, but I don't know, they're either in that marina or they're out here and they've got lockjaw. Because everything I'm doing is proper pike methods that I know work. And on that other pond as well, I just don't get it. I caught 2 fish the first trip, and then tried a lot of different tactics since, moved swims, jumped around, even tried just staying in the same swim all day, and nothing. So perhaps on these exploratory sessions there aren't quite the numbers of fish I hope there would be, and maybe there's a reason why not many people pike fish these places. Real shame, because this pond is actually where I caught my first ever pike, so it would have been nice to have come back here and seen that there are big fish here. Probably are, but you know, winter's a short season. People talk about summer being short. I think winter's pretty short, and I don't want to use those few proper pike days on places where I don't think I'm going to catch. And after these sessions, don't know if I'm going to really come back here all that much. I might give it the odd go, but when I know I can go on certain stretches of river and other ponds and pits and be, yeah, pretty sure I'll get some kind of action, I'd be an idiot not to go there. But you don't know until you try, hey? Another 20 minutes or so. I'd love a fish. 3 blanks, can't do it. That's gonna have to be it, I'm afraid. The lights are coming on the road and on the canal towpath. And I'm actually gonna give it another half hour or so. Just sit it out in the dark for a bit, because you never know, it could be that it's a nighttime thing, but I doubt it. Yeah, I'm really gutted. 3 blank sessions, and as I said earlier, you don't get many good pike days in winter, and I feel like I've kind of wasted them, but yeah, you never know. I didn't know it was going to be a waste, so yeah, I'm kind of glad I tried, if anything, just to rule it out. But yeah, if you stuck with me to the end, thank you so much. Hopefully these past few weeks have been going better for you guys fishing wise, and yeah, soon be Christmas, so we've got that to look forward to. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time.